Are you familiar with the scripture that speaks about the moon turning to blood, red, like blood? And we know that this happens during eclipses. We know that it happens during atmospheric changes. But one thing I learned a few months ago, I heard somebody say that the moon is rusting, turning red through rust because of hemoglobin. However, that wasn't exactly accurate. It was actually turning red through hematite. It's an iron oxide. So there is some, the moon is rich in iron, right? But what is happening, it seems like there's not a sufficient amount of water or atmosphere on the moon to make things rust. But what is happening is that the solar flares or the solar wind, which hits the moon or hits the earth, then carries that into the moon, and so that it does get some form of oxygen, which oxidizes the iron to form a hematite product to rust on the moon. So in a sense, over time, and this happens specifically with lunar eclipses, because that is right when the sun is behind the earth and the earth is between the sun and the moon, and so that's when the moon is getting the biggest splash of that, and it even turns red itself. It's almost like it turning red every eclipse is almost prophesying of the future of how eventually the moon will turn red. That is, unless it gets outside of our orbit by the time it would ultimately change color noticeable from us, that it would still be red all the time. But one way or another, the moon is literally turning red. I think that's remarkable. Now, a lot of people originally said that it's due to hemoglobin, which is what turns our blood red, but it's not the same form of iron oxidation that's happening on the moon. So I hope you find that interesting. The reason I talk about this now is because Troy with The Last Dispensation just covered and did a great covering of the moon turning red, and explaining how that's not only physical but also spiritual. There's obviously far more to it, but I thought I'd share that small little amount. And if you haven't seen it, I feel like one of the most important videos I've made recently is my previous one to this, and it is on the historical synchronism with Abraham and his father Terah. And I give references, I give sources, it's also in the description, and I also have quotes from experts. So even met with an expert, an Egyptologist on the subject. So check it out. It's something that I care a lot about. I'm surprised that not too many people have seen it or watched it, but to me it's one of the most important videos I've made. But not everybody has that same interest. So please check it out. Our family is moving to Missouri soon. We're selling our house. We have quite a few people looking at our house now. So we are excited, and hope all is well with you. Take care.